Hey guys, in the previous lecture we talked about how to make a pin of Arduino output. Now we'll make 6 pins of Arduino outputs and we will use 6 LEDs to turn them on and off with different time intervals and making some projects. And meanwhile I will show you how to use some variables. Okay, let's start. So in most of YouTube videos or some classes, they just use for every LED they use a separate resistor. But I won't use a separate resistor. I will use just one resistor for all of them. So I'm going to put my LEDs like this: 1, 2, 4, 5, and this is the 6th LED. So instead of connecting all of them with one resistor, one separate resistor, I will connect these power lines by this resistor. So I will connect this power line like this and this power line here like this. So I can make something like this maybe. So I will make this positive. So let's make this one red and this one blue. Okay, so this part will be positive and then here negative. From this negative part I will connect this negative part to ground of the Arduino, and let's make it blue too. So the charge will come from here, this red line, and it will go through the resistor and it will come to this blue cable and it will go to ground of the Arduino. So let's connect LEDs. I will begin from number 2, pin number 2, and I'll connect this pin number 2 to my first LED. Let's make these red 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you connect these, be careful about the anode and cathode of LED. You have to connect the longer leg of LED, the positive side, and the shorter one, negative side. So let's make this a little bit like this. Yeah, something like this. Oh, sorry. And yeah, for instance, you cannot see from here, but from pin number 2 it will come and go to the positive pole of the LED, the anode of LED, and it has to go to this negative power line. So I will connect this to this negative power line. Let's make it black, and all of them will be connected to this negative power line. Let's connect this one and this one. So for instance, pin number 2, the power will come, the current will come and go through the resistor and it will go to the power line. Then, oh sorry, I have to connect these to plus signs because it will go to resistor. Yeah, now it's correct. Pin number 2, for instance, will go through the resistor and the current here will go to this resistor here, and from this resistor it will go and it will come to this negative power line, and from this negative power line it will go to ground of the Arduino and the circuit will be closed, so it will work. So just with one resistor we can connect all these LEDs. We can connect like 8 of them, 10 of them, doesn't matter. Your value of your resistor can be like 300 ohms. It depends on the LED that you use, but 100, 200, 300, 400, those values are good for these most of LEDs. It wouldn't burn them. So the circuit is like this. Let's look at the circuit from the physical. Let's look at the physical circuit in the real breadboard. As you can see, I connected LED resistor just like this. It is just between the lines, power lines, and I didn't put that black lines in the schematic over there, but I just connected my LEDs directly to the negative side of my LEDs directly to the power line, and I connected all of them separately to pins of Arduino, the positive sides of LEDs. And then I connected my negative power line to ground of Arduino. So now let's code a little bit and see how it goes. So in order to turn these LEDs on and off, you have to make them first output, because our pins will be outputs to give to our LEDs as input. So we will control them, so we have to make them outputs. Do you remember how we make outputs? We just write pin mode with capital M. Which pin? Number 2. We will begin from 2. And comma output. Then we close the parentheses and we just put a semicolon. So now we made pin number 2 output. Let's make the others also output. Control V. Pin number 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Now all of them are outputs. So now I want to make them, let's make them all of them on. Okay, let's make all of them high. Let's see what will happen. So we have to write digital write with capital W and pin number 2 comma high. With capital letters and semicolon. Instead of high, you can also write just 1, and instead of low, you can write 0. Those are the same things. Control C, Control V. So pin number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, a programmer wouldn't do something like this. Never. A real programmer would write all of these code in just maybe for loops or while loops, and wouldn't write all of these separately, because it is just waste of time. But because we didn't learn the loops yet, I mean for loop, while loop, or do while, whatever, because we didn't learn them, I will just write this directly, and when we learn them, we will make our code much more compact. So now I will upload this code and make all of the LEDs on. So as you can see, all of them are on. So now I want to teach you how to make some line comment. There are 4 ways of making comments. Okay, you can just put 2 slashes in the beginning of your code. Now I put 2 slashes. When the compiler wants to compile this code, it will not compile this one here. It will understand that this is not a real code, this is just comment. So it will pass this and execute the other ones. Okay, if I send this code right now, this pin number 3 won't be high. So we have to see that 5 of our LEDs will be on, but one of them should be off when I send this code. You can't maybe see, but this pin number 3 here is off, not high. Also, there is another way of doing this. We can put slash and a star, then after this a star and slash. When you do this, all of the code between these slash and stars will be comments. So if I upload this now, only pin number 2, I mean the first LED will be on and the others will be off. Let's upload this one and see what happens. As you can see, this one of the LEDs are on and the others, all of them, off. So that was for comments, and let's delete this for now and write some other code. Now I want to make the first LED on, then I want to make it off, and then the second LED on, then the third LED on, then fourth, 5, 6, and again from 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Okay, so I will make the first one, I mean pin number 2 high, then I will keep it high for 50 milliseconds. So our function was delay for this and semicolon, and then I want to make it off for 50 seconds. Digital write pin number 2 low, and another delay here, 50 milliseconds. Okay, if I do this right now, pin number 2 will blink. Okay, as you can see, it blinks very fast. So now I want to make pin number 3, pin number 4, pin number 5 to be on and off, and it will be like a snake game. It will go and come back, go and come back. So let's put a comment here to separate our code, and let's copy them and paste. Okay, pin number 2, pin number 3, 4, 5, 6, one more, and 7. Let's see what will happen now. Okay, first let's look at the code. The first one will be on and off, then the second one, then the third one, then the fourth, fifth, and it will, after finishing this, it will come to the beginning and it will make the first one on again. It is like this. It begins from this here, and it goes and comes back, goes and comes back. So if I want to make our delay 100 milliseconds, what would I do? I have to change all of this, right? Because I just have to change all of this. There's no other way right now. But it is too long, you know. It makes you sick when you have to change all of this. So for this, we can use something called variable. Variables are amazing things. Actually, in coding, every language, variables are the most important thing, I guess, because you have some input and then you have some output, and these are all variables. It makes your code general. When you don't have variables, it is like old technology. But when you have variables, your code is like general. You can do everything. It is for all purposes. So if I declare a variable here, and let's say it is time interval, it is name, I'll declare a variable, and then when I change just one variable, all the delays over there will be changed. So there are types of variables, but I won't show all of them right now because this is not this is just an introduction to variables. I will just show integer. You just write int. Integer is 1, 2, 3, and it goes like that. These are just decimal numbers. Integer time interval. You just write the type of the parameter variable and then name of the variable here, and then you initialize it. How you initialize it? You just put a equals. It is not as the same equals of math. It is different. It says that it will be. It is value will be. Okay, and let's make it, for instance, 100. It was 50 here, and we now to make all of them 100. So how are we gonna use this variable time interval in our code? So instead of writing 50 here, we just write this code. We just write time interval instead of that. Okay, I will just copy and paste this, all of them. Now I copied all of them. Our previous value was 50 and now we made it 100, right? If I upload this, it should be slower. As you can see, it is slower now. Let's make it 500. If you wanted to make 500 before declaring a variable, we had to change all of these, right? But now, just by changing the value of this time interval variable, we can just change everything. Let's upload this one. As you can see, it is much slower now. Let's make it 20. Because why not? Now it is much faster. Yeah.